comes through in a pipe into this box.
Yes.
So that box is a oil holding chamber, yeah?
Yes.
So it fills itself up, like your tanks in the roof if you have them.
Yeah.
And then oil comes out of the bottom to feed the burner.
Okay.
Okay? So this oil tank fills up, and then nothing happens if this grey, that's your on off. So that sends oil from the tank to the burner.
Do you have to put
Okay.
the electrics on?
No, that we'll get onto that in a minute. All right. So this is that's on down, and then you know it's on because when you lift it up, it clicks. Okay. So on. So you know the valve. I know the valve is going on and off now because when I turn it back off, it's clicking and dropping down. So unfortunately, you're almost blind on it being on. Is it on? So, but you can check by lifting it back up. So that is on. So now I'm letting oil from outside. I'm filling this chamber up. When it gets to its level point, it will stop filling.
Really?
Yeah.
And
It's
how
got
do you
a
know
float
it's
in there.
full?
It's got a float in there. Can
It's
you
got-
hear it filling up?
Yeah, I can.
Hear the little bits of oil rushing in. So that'll fill up. It's got a level. It's got a float, and the float stops, turns it off. So then when you use it, the float drops, fills back up again. So this pin here, on the end of that pin, it's so basic. It's a pin with holes in it. Okay, so you have a hole like a tap, and then you have a pin, and then if it's off, the pin is shut tight,
Yeah.
and when it's on one, which is down here, right, on this one we turn it all the way to on full. All right, this is your high and low on one that hasn't got a thermostat. You've got a dial in here with numbers, 1 to 5 maybe.
Yeah.
So this would be your 1 to 5, but we ignore that because you've got the electric bit.
Okay.
So what it does is, as you turn this on, that pin effectively moves away and lets oil flow through, and then you shut it down. It just slowly turns off. So that's your regulation of the oil. Your one, what we do is we turn that all the way around. I'll quickly turn it on because it won't. Up to the top. So 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock. That's on.
That's on now.
Right. So when we want to light it, we turn that to 11 o'clock. You then wait quarter of an hour. Can't light it straight away because the oil's got to come through the pipe, fill up the tray, and then fill the little trays up, get the wicks in there wet for them then to vaporise to be able to be lit.
Oh my god.
Okay?
Oh
So you
my God.
turn that on, wait quarter of an hour.
Okay.
All right. So then what you do is you come in here. So you take that off. And when you look in here,
This is hysterical. I don't even know what to make of it.
oh, torch isn't working. Typical. Might have to get the phone out. Oh yeah, there we are. Right. So do you see that? That's the little window.
That's the little window.
You lift that up, and you'd be better off getting, because when you put matches and things in there, the end of the match drops down, it makes the channel a bit dirty. So you'd be better off getting, you know, the little lighters with the long probes, and the little flame comes out the end, a clicker for lighting hobs and things. One of those, and then you stick it in that hole there, and there's a wick in there, and when it's vaporising, you'll see a little flame, and then you have to knock that down, otherwise it won't burn correctly, it'll burn yellow. And then you pop that on, and then you're away.
You pop that door back on.
Back on, yeah. Which
And
is
then you're
on lugs.
away.
So that's on lugs there. So you push in at the top and let it drop down.
Okay,
it's
and
on.
this is the setting for a hot and cold.
Right. So then, so basically the electric, if you turn the electric on, yeah, all you're doing is powering a bimetallic strip.
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember them at school?
Yeah.
Get them hot, they bend.
Yeah.
Get them cold. So when it's off and there's no power on, that bimetallic strip is down. So again, you know that pin I was talking about?
Yeah.
So that there's another arm from the grey bit. There's another arm inside which has got a little pin, which is your high and low. So when that pin is depressed, it will let 4 through. Okay, it's just a number of millilitres.
Yeah.
When that pin is not depressed, it lets through 8. 4, 8. 4,
Okay.
8. So it just goes on and off, on and off. So basically all you're doing is, when this, say 1 is 150 degrees,
Yeah.
when the thermostat, which is here, which is in here, gets up to 150 degrees, it turns the power off, so no heat in the bimetallic strip, so it cools.
Yes. And
Goes
closes
to
it
4.
off. Okay.
Runs at 4 constantly.
Yeah.
Okay, and will not run any higher until it gets colder. So you open that door a few times or chuck some cold meat in, then it'll get cold, turn the power on, bend the bimetallic strip, goes to 8.
Okay.
And when it's hot, 4, 8, 4, 8.
Okay, so it
on, off.
regulates
So
itself.
that is all it does. It goes high, low, high, low.
Okay.
4 millilitres a minute or 8 millilitres a minute.
Okay, cool.
And that's all it does. So then all you do is you turn that up to find your point. A lot of people like, where are we? We're there. That's off, obviously. So a lot of people like number 3. 3 is steady. You can cook in it. You can use the top and boil anything easily. If you're going to do a roast, because you're putting a big lump of cold meat in there or whatever you're putting in there, or cold spuds, or, you know, needs to go up a little bit prior to counteract the fact it's going to cool itself down. So you get it a bit hotter. But, I mean, if you Google, read a few books, how to cook on an Arga, it will tell you a few tricks
Okay,
to
cool.
do. Alright? But some people leave it at 3 and they do all their cooking from 3. It just takes a little bit longer. You get used to it. Yeah. So, alright?
So
And that is it. So that
that's
is just an on-off device, but attached to temperature.
Yeah.
Okay, of the oven.
Yeah.
So if you have it at, say, 5, which is 220, 240, whatever
Yeah.
it is, it will just go high, low, from 240.
Okay.
Now-
so it can keep it at 240. So when
Well,
we, so
that-
when,
that's
so
flat
when we're-
out. So we-
when we're away, we want to turn it down to 1.
Turn it to off.
Turn
Because
it to
then it
off.
will only run at the 4
You turn it to,
millilitres a minute.
you turn it off, but it's still on.
But it's still on. Because that's
Turn it
only
off,
pushing
it's
the...
still on.
It's still pushing the pin, but it's only running at the low. Because to turn it physically off, you have to turn that grey.
Okay, this is
So
good.
the grey knob is here.
Will it
is
be
an
warm?
on-off for you guys.
Will it
and
still
then
be
this
warm?
is your
Will it still be warm?
when
If we have it turned off there.
there. Oh
Will it
yeah,
still
that's
be warm?
150 degrees
Wow.
or 110 degrees or something. So it's still, you're still on, off, low. Will still be able to boil on the top.
So it ticks over unless
Yeah.
you turn the
Click the grey control back round to 7 o'clock. You know, anti-clockwise. Or is it clockwise? Hang on. I think. Yeah, it is clockwise. So turn it back clockwise, it clicks and it's off, and that is an on-off on yours.
Yeah.
Okay, because on people who don't have the electric bit, that's their 1 to 5 here.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
all you're doing is going from 4 down
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
and as you raise the pin by turning the grey control, you're going up to your 5 and then back down as you turn the control.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's their regulation.
Okay.
They do it a bit.
Okay. Okay. So Brett, I feel as if I want to feed back to you how to work it.
Yeah, but why it goes wrong is obviously it creates carbon. So you've got a small tiny pipe there. Look, see the size of that pipe? That feeds oil into a bowl. Then that bowl feeds it into some trays. Okay, if that bowl and that pipe, all they do is they carbonise and they block up.
Yeah.
So no,
And that
effectively
pin,
everything's
presumably the
working.
pin-
Up
pin
this
is-
end is clean.
Alright.
That's always okay.
Yeah.
It's this end, because in there it can be at 200 to 300 degrees all the time, so you're almost baking the oil.
Yeah, because of course we've got a filter on the oil, so it's taking
Yeah.
taking the rubbish out, so it doesn't have.
Yeah, no rubbish comes in. You know, plastic tanks is the, you know, it was when the metal ones used to decay and then they would sweat a lot that they would create problems.
Yeah,
But in theory, that side should be fine.
a bit like a petrol tank.
But this end, all it does is the pipe is that size, it starts closing up, and then if it's the size of a pin head, it's only going to let a pin head's worth of oil through. Well, that only might be, instead of being a minimum of 4, that only might be 1 millilitre a minute. So thus,
Does it
not
stop
enough
doing
fuel,
stuff?
so it slows down.
It's a bit like cleaning out a carburetor
Yes. Yeah.
in the days when they had carburetors.
Yes. Exactly.